there, my friends, and welcome once again to the Mask Fan Attic, where we look for interesting old Halloween masks from days gone by. And this week's mask is a little number from the folks at Be Something Studios, made in the USA. It's Unleashed Wickedness. That's right, Unleashed Wickedness. Now, the Be Something folks, who are now known as Zagoni, make a note of that because there may be a quiz later. What was the old name of Zagoni Studios? It was Be Something Studios. Now you know. And the more you know, the more you can be killed and devoured by Unleashed Wickedness, I guess. But this guy was sort of a variation on a theme. They had been making masks since the mid to late 70s, and they already had a big success with a great mask called Fang Face that everybody loved. And I think by the time of Unleashed Wickedness here, or Un, as his friends call him, Un here didn't come along until 1985, and the Fang Face masks had been around since 1977, 78 in there. So what they wanted to do here was show the best that they could do, the absolute, the Rolls Royce of their masks, the nicest, most deluxe, most elaborate, most collectible masks they could offer. And to me, it's just amazing how the people at Be Something / Zagoni get away with these really long, deep, undercut type of situations, because all these teeth are one with the mask. They're not separate pieces glued in. I would not like to be the guy that has to make that mold. I'm not sure how they get away with that. I suspect witchcraft, actually. But the Fang Face masks had just had an ordinary plain black hood made out of a similar plushy type fabric for the most part. And Unleashed Wickedness and the others in his series, there were I think 5 of them originally. There was one called Living Skull, there was one called Hooded Fear, there were a couple of alien looking characters. But Unleashed Wickedness here had, like those, a very deluxe hood with a silver metallic lame lining, and there's even a wire here. If I bend that, can you tell? There's sort of a, see, there's something inside there. There's a wire inside the hem to help the hood stay in shape. And in the back, I'm going to take out my fabulously expensive styrofoam wig head here and show you in the back. There is both Velcro and elastic to hold it in place. And they've even gone so far, here's where they went the extra mile for us in the mask world. Now, if you collect these things, or really if you work with latex rubber at all, you probably can figure out that over time, something with this much pull in the front, with, see how his muzzle is sticking way out there? Something that's that front heavy is going to stress the latex over time, and it's going to droop, and it's going to stretch, and it's going to crack between the eyes. They even went so far as to take steps to stave that off and prevent that by sticking a piece of rubber inside there. Okay, there's an extra little strap that holds, I don't think that's going to show up. Is that going to show up? Can you see where I am? No, you can't tell it, can you? Take my word for it. There's a little rubber piece in there holding the muzzle in place. It's glued inside his nose, and it's glued onto the inside of his forehead, basically, here and here. So it's keeping this from sagging down, and that will add a lot of lifespan, a lot of shelf life time to your mask. And Unleashed here was out, as I already said, 1985. He was available for a while, then discontinued, then brought back. I believe he's on the website currently for Zagoni's. I think you can get him. These sell for around 70 bucks. Beautifully sculpted, beautifully painted, like just about everything from the Be Something Zagoni folks. This one was sculpted by the terrifically talented Bill Eastrom, who signs his sculptures Bye-Bye, by B-Y, because his last name Eastrom starts with a Y. Yeah, Bye-Bye. So all the things that say Bye-Bye are Bill Eastrom creations, and I think this is just a beautiful one. It's sort of an exaggeration of Fang Face. It's sort of the next level of Fang Face creature. And hold on to your hernias, because even more amazingly, now in 1985 when this came out, Be Something wasn't making hands. But they have since then tried their hand at making hands, and it wasn't until 1998 that they came out with Unleashed Wickedness hands. What looked like this. And as you can see, The Unleashed Wickedness hands are a pretty darn good match for the head. They were obviously designed to go with it, what with the red and purple and the plates of bone over that muscle and tendon understructure. Now when you got a pair of these, and they weren't in production for very long, these are very rare. Mine have already started to deteriorate, but I still have them because it's hard for me to say goodbye. I hate long goodbyes, but anyway, the hands here, when you bought a pair of these back in 1998, if you were fortunate enough to get a set, you didn't actually get a left and a right. You just got two paws of the same hand, you see. You just wear one on your left hand and one on your right hand because he's basically got two thumbs and then two big fingers in between his two thumbs on each hand. See there? Opposable thumbs, right? Literally opposable. Now, I guess the reason for that is, you know, when you're an Unleashed Wickedness monster, there is no right and left to you. There is no right and wrong to you, which is the scary part about Unleashed Wickedness monsters. So the hands, very cool, but very hard to come by. You do occasionally see them turn up on eBay and places like that, so you might score a pair. And if you do, here's hoping they're in better condition than my old pair, which is old and beat up and worn out, much like their owner. Now, Unleashed here, I believe I saw him in some TV episode many years ago of some Halloween show. I can't remember what it was, so that's you guys' homework for next week. What show had one of these in a Halloween episode? I don't think it was used as a real monster, like it was supposed to actually be a monster. I think it was just in a Halloween party scene, maybe a kid's show or a sitcom where there was a Halloween episode where people were wearing masks. And I saw one of these, and I can't remember what program it was. So somebody, I'm sure, remembers that. One of the Zagoni collectors out there will eventually tell me. But in the meantime, check online. If you want a really dramatic and freaky-deaky, scary Halloween mask, look for good old Unleashed Wickedness from the folks at Zagoni. And I have to stop talking now because he's going to eat you alive.